So apparently it's been 5 years since the release of Core. It's kind of a weird thought. I had a lot of thoughts when I found this out. I found this out only a week ago, or maybe even less than a week ago. For that reason, I didn't really plan anything for this. I know 5 years is typically, I feel like, kind of a pretty big milestone, but also this isn't really like a career of mine. Doing music has always been a part-time thing, even though I love telling these stories and I'm gonna continue to do so. Not a lot has happened in 5 years, but I, as a person, have changed a lot, and I feel like that's telling in the music. But even so, I'm kind of getting off track. If I had known longer than a week ago that this was approaching, I probably would have put together something. I had a few ideas, but since it kind of caught me off guard, I figured I would just make this quick little update video to talk about what's going on in the music, because there's still things going on in the music I'm still creating, and I've been kind of silent on social media. Okay, so I want to jump back to Lust and Longing. If you follow my music, some of you may know that Lust and Longing was originally going to be a longer album, and I split it into 2 albums. And the reason for that was a lot of the songs I was writing, I was seeing that there were really 2 major themes that were happening with it. So I split it into 2. Humpty was originally a Lust and Longing song, but then I decided it would fit better on the other album. What I did not expect to happen was this other album, as I started getting back into it after I took a break after Lust and Longing released, was that it quickly became a passion project. So in regards to this update, there are 2 main things I want to talk about in this video. The first is the process that has been going into making this next album and why it's been such a slow process. And one of those reasons is whenever I got back into it, I was realizing there were parallels with the original theming of the album and something else that I had been dwelling on that was also very heavy, and it bothered me a lot. Once I was in the writing process, the creating process, the length that I was taking to dwell on these things was really eating me up and causing a lot of negative emotions like anger and depression. So it's been a slow process because I'm constantly having to take breaks from that and go work on the other side of the music. There's a lot of research and other things I've been doing with this really heavy side. So even just being in the research as I was dwelling on those things would just make me really sad, to be completely honest. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason it's been a slow process is because of all of the work that's going in. Aside from all of the recording, the writing, the mixing, the mastering, like all the things that I do with the album and the music, there's also a lot of other things I'm doing. There's keyframe animation that I'm diving into, which may end up being stop motion animation because I'm a little more familiar with it. There's all the artwork that is going into it, and my little brother has been helping me with that, and it is so cool. Another part of the slowness of the process is I want to continue to tell the path narrative, the story that I've been telling. With Core, that story was told in the music video, in the Path music video, and then I've always told it in different ways. I've always tried to do something different. For Dear Radio, it was the letters that were being written. With Lust and Longing, it was the photography done by Timothy Conley. It was the audio journals that were on the hidden YouTube page. With this album, I am going to do another music video, and I've got some wonderful friends helping me with that. But another thing that I'm doing, aside from some marketing ideas I have that you'll see at some point, is I want to do something I've not seen a lot of bands do, and that's make a short film that goes along with the narrative. So it's not going to have any music, it's not a music video, but hopefully it will be a standalone film that fits into the context and the characters of the story. So yeah, so aside from the music, I'm also diving back into film and refreshing there, and writing and dialogue writing is so completely different from music writing. There's parallels, but it's like a whole other side of my brain that I've had to go back to from like college 5 years ago. And then kind of the final reason this has been such a slow process the past couple of years is because dwelling in all these themes and wanting to portray a story and doing all the things that I want to put into my music, just for me, from a storyteller perspective of visual and from narrative and all that, I'm forgetting to just create art for art's sake. I keep hitting a mental roadblock with writing, and I'm not feeling any inspiration on stuff to write about, because whether it be dwelling on the negative things I talked about earlier or attempting to fit into this preconceived notion of what I want the album to be, nothing is just genuinely pouring out. So that said, I've had some conversations with good friends of mine and have just been reminded to create art for art's sake. I mean, I'm not getting any money out of it. Again, this is a part-time thing. It's not a career. To just create and to honor God with my work above all, which is what I want to do with it, and to just have fun with it, because I've been forgetting to have fun with it. So yeah, all that to say, it has been a slow process and it's getting closer, but doing everything all at the same time, my brain keeps having to switch between the different things of film and music and recording, mix engineering, all of that. Hey, future Micah here. So I wanted to mention here and forgot that part of this process has been preparing to release the music in a way that I've never released it before. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'm very excited about that. So yeah, just wanted to put that in there. Okay, so now we get to the second part of this video, the second main thing I wanted to talk about. And that is in regards to a big change. And I kind of hate that I'm talking about this in this video, but I feel like it kind of needs to be talked about, and I'll try and keep it brief. But during this whole process post-COVID is when all of this AI stuff has blown up. I wanted to talk about the cover art for Lust and Longing. During all that, I did use AI for a part of that cover art. And then I went in and manipulated it a little bit and added my own stuff to it. I had reasoning for that at the time. I wanted it to feel a little bit uncanny, which I did, and I love the look of the cover art on Lust and Longing. However, recently, with all the stuff going on with AI in the art world, but more specifically the music world, I have found myself completely wanting no part whatsoever to do with AI anything. I've gotten to the point where I'm just genuinely frustrated with all of it. And I've also come to grips with that any reasoning that I had to justify using AI art on Lust and Longing, I fully disagree with at this point. So what I'm doing as I'm in this process of creating music for the next album, I'm actually going back, and very soon you're gonna see this change. I'm actually going to reach out to an artist, probably a 3D modeler, maybe even an actual sculptor, and I'm gonna pay someone to remake the statue that's on the Lust and Longing cover art and re-upload the album artwork so that there is no AI whatsoever. It's just fully human art in that aspect. So yeah, I'm not gonna break into that too much. There's a couple videos you should watch if you're curious about what's going on with AI. There's one video by a man named Rick Beato on YouTube who talks about AI in the music industry. It's a great watch, you should watch it. And then also Drew Goodman put out an AI video recently that was absolutely hilarious. As I was finishing up creating this video, I was like, I'm pretty sure I said Drew Goodman here, and I did. It's Drew Gooden. I apologize. I'll have both of those videos linked in the description. All of this kind of built up to the point where I was like, I really don't think I should have been dabbling with AI at all. Just personal subjective opinions. But then I saw those videos and I was like, all right, that's it. I really want to change this and I want to support another artist. We're still recording. I had to make sure because I'm using my phone and it likes to crash. Okay, so that's kind of it for this video. I think I talked about everything. Yeah, 5 years for Core. It's crazy. So I wanted to do one more thing, and that was to give you guys a teaser of what I'm doing. I'm actually going to play an intro to one of my favorite songs on this album that I'm working on. This is completely unreleased. I have done nothing to show any of this song yet other than talking to friends about the lyrics. Well, with that, I'm gonna end this video, and I just want to say you are loved, And thank you for watching this, for supporting me, for listening to my music. Yeah, I am very grateful. So without further ado, here is one of my favorite songs on the new album that I'm not gonna share the name yet. Far off and shielded in a glen lived an ancient one inside a weathered shed. His peaceable demeanor would make a young man eager to be attentive to a tale of life ill spent.